Hi friends, Jeffy G here. If you've been following my channel, you know I'm all about virtual instruments, inspiring sounds, using emulations and plugins. Out of the blue, I went and bought this. It's something called a piano organ that was distributed by RCA and made by Farfisa. It's a reed instrument similar to an accordion. It's quite unusual. It was very inexpensive, and it's both a piece of furniture in a way. I was impressed with the condition and quality of this thing. The previous owner told me it was built sometime between, 1958 and 1962, and it had been in his family for a long time. But what a departure from all of the technology to something as basic. I can't think of an instrument more basic than an air-powered reed instrument with a limited keyboard. It's very unusual. Let me show you how it works. Let me go over this thing in a bit of detail. It has 21 keys. They're plastic, much like an accordion. See in the middle there is the logo from RCA. And it's my understanding that RCA built cabinets at the time. They built cabinets for TVs and all kinds of other things. And they decided to stick this piano organ inside one of their cabinets. So on the left, you have typical accordion buttons, and there's a template, plastic template here. This thing off that exposes just the major and minor buttons. And then there's, if you take off the template, you can see it's got major, minor, sevenths, and there's like a bass accompaniment row of buttons. And then over here you can see is the emblem that says it's built by Farfisa. Down below, that looks like speakers, but it is not. It's just speaker cloth covering a piece of wood that helps this thing stand up. And down below you have a volume pedal. And to turn it on, it's just a dial here. You know it's on because there's a red light with a bulb in it. No LEDs. You can hear the fan spinning up. You can hear the fan when I take my foot off the gas, slows right down with very little air. Don't get a lot of chord. The more air you press through it, the more full-bodied those reeds vibrate, and it makes, of course, a louder sound, but also a more complete sound. These notes just have one tone, but look at this thing. It's got counter bass. You press, say, D sharp, it's going to play the E flat. It's got bass, major chords, minor chords, and sevenths. It's pretty good. Yeah. The previous owner was kind enough to give me all of these books on how to learn to play it, and the books are specific to the piano organ, so they're probably pretty hard to find today. But I really appreciate it because so far I found it really difficult to play. I'm not an accordion player, and I find that the buttons for the bass accompaniment and the chords are not laid out in a natural way. I compare it to a QWERTY keyboard, where the most used chords are in the center to minimize the movement of your left hand. Now, I guess the big question is, what am I going to do with this thing? Here are some of my ideas. First, I'm going to try recording it. It's not stereo, of course, it's a monophonic instrument, and I'm going to have to use some microphones, probably a condenser mic, and maybe set up a SM57 like I was recording drums. Something to pick up the ambiance in the room, but also something close to the instrument that'll pick up everything it generates, which is a combination of sound and wind. You know, the air and the noise of the fan is part of this machine. The other thing I was thinking of doing was sampling it and creating a sample instrument either in Logic or in Contact, something that, you know, I could reuse and distribute it, although there's probably already something out there that does that. I just want to go through the process of recording it to see what kind of quality I can get. Will I use it? No, I don't know. You know, it was fairly inexpensive. We'll see how much it gets used. I've had some crazy ideas like creating an AC/DC tribute band where everything is played on the piano organ. Let me know what you think. It's quite a departure to try an instrument like this, and for the most part, I've actually been downsizing and getting rid of anything bulky. So it's out of character for me to have picked this up. But let me know your opinions on this. Is it a neat find? Is it something that you're interested in? Or do you think it's a waste of time? Leave your comments, click on the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me keep doing what I'm doing.